Welcome to the video and welcome to peak autumn. I'm at this national park in the southern part of Sweden in Scania called Söderåsen. It's quite a famous horse with this gorge or valley going through, and it's famous for its woodlands. So today was actually a catastrophe. First my GPS led me astray, so it took quite a while to get here. But I was treated with incredible colors, as you can see. But this video was supposed to be about me going out with my Mamiya, as you can see here, and shooting some Velvia. Quite a special roll of Velvia. I actually bought it early spring this year. I kind of saved it and never got around to using it, so I thought, well, today is the day I'm going to expose that roll of film. Well, I got out in the field, found my first subject here. I even filmed the intro to this video once before, talking about the Velvia. But I had dropped the roll of film while loading it, and it unraveled. That was that roll of film. I did have a backup roll of film in my bag, but it's a black and white Ilford HP5. But hey, it could be interesting to see how it renders autumn colors. So yeah, first image with the Mamiya. I'm going to show you and talk a bit about it, but we're going to go back to a little early today, because when I walked here I passed quite an interesting composition for a panoramic image. I'm quite bad at panoramic images, I don't do them as much. So I'm going to leave it to old me, and he will explain a bit about that.
Well, hello there. I'm here from the past. So, as I probably said before, I found this over there. We have quite a lovely tree sticking out from quite a few other trees around here. This uniform woodland with straight trees scattered around quite nicely. As you probably can see if I kind of just spinning around there. So the idea here is quite similar, doing a panel of this tree with those. It's quite nice birch trees actually. I've also found this elevation just before the tree, so I can get quite an overlook view and just cutting that out.
Welcome back. I'm still standing on the same spot, looking at the same composition. Let's take this image.
Yeah, as I said, first image with the Mamiya. What I didn't tell you is I also lost a couple of frames of the Ilford as well. When I loaded, I missed the start mark of the film, so I kind of exposed the first frame. So then I just exposed the three first frames, so I think the fourth frame will be okay. Anyhow, I found this composition. It's a composition for a color image, so it will be interesting to see if it works in black and white as well. What I found here is actually not on this side of the gorge here. On the other side I have this quite prominent tree, bright yellow. Look quite interesting, stood out against the other trees there. I found that was quite interesting in itself. So then I, as I always do a little wander. I found quite nice little framing on this side. So it's shot at f5.6, so quite wide open on this medium format camera, 6x7, and 1/125th of a second. It's my first image at least. Let's continue and see if we can find something else.
So yeah, I've actually found another composition, another image here. So as I'm shooting black and white today, unfortunately, I started looking for a couple of black and white composition that would work quite well in black and white. And I walked across this, I couldn't help by noticing these trees, how they stand out against the background. Even my mind started thinking about that book, The Camera Band by Ansel Adams. On the front cover there is an image, excellent image of a group of trees standing out against a dark background in black and white. And this actually reminded me of that. If you dare to compare yourself to Ansel Adams, this image isn't as great, of course not. But yeah, he caught my eye and hey, why not? So I've took this image, sent a composition with the tree, arranged it. It's actually 4 trees, but I've arranged them so the last tree in this group isn't visible in the image. I also wanted like the whole group in focus and then the focusing falling off, so I needed depth of field covering the whole group. So what I did was actually walking and counting my steps. So I estimated it to 4 meters to the front tree and estimated it to 6 meters at the back tree. So I needed a focus speed between 4 and 6 meters. And then I wanted to fall it off. So then I used an app on my phone, PhotoPulse, no affiliation by the way, I just like the app. And used that to get my F number I needed, my aperture. And it gave me f11 if I want everything in focus. But then I also tried a second exposure at f5.6. So they gave me f11, then I want to try 5.6 to really amplify that falling off with focus. What you can do with this Mamiya camera and some of the lenses, I think most of the lenses actually, you have small lines you can follow. So if you want to change the aperture, you get what shutter speed you need to use. So quite a nice feature, and I use that. I hope the image works out. It might be quite boring, or it might be brilliant, who knows. But I'll show you the image regardless.
So exact same idea and exact same composition and with the same trees. However, I'm using my wide angle, so this is a 50mm instead, so much closer at f5.6, 1/30 of a second, just to well try it and see how it looks.
So I'm still photographing the same trees as before, these birch trees. When I filmed myself doing this, I kind of noticed this rock here in the foreground, and it just kind of pointed straight towards the trees. So wide angle and kind of using this as a foreground element. The problem here though is I can't get both in focus with one shot with this camera. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take 2 exposures of this scene, one focusing on the trees and one focusing on the foreground element here. Then I can blend them in the computer, which is kind of strange. I feel like that's kind of strange when I shoot in film, but I would do that. So here we go, this is f22, it's 1/4 of a second, focusing on the far trees. Just waiting for the tripod to, it kind of wobbled. So. There we go, first exposure. And let's refocus on the rock instead. And second exposure focusing on the rock in the foreground. There we go. Actually, one frame left. I'm going to take that image as well as I finish off this roll. Try and find some last subject here, but I'm just going to do a fast vlog about that image. And it could be trash. So yeah, interesting day. Losing one roll of film. And losing a couple of frames on this roll as well. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Nice outing and lovely colors now. Really awesome colors. An overcast sky have actually helped us quite a lot. Quite soft lighting today. Because I would really like a couple of autumn images, colorful autumn images captured on film as well. Quite pleased with the autumn images this year with the digital camera. So I'm more relaxed now because I have the autumn images I was after going into this season. Probably will be heading out tomorrow. So actually has the day off tomorrow as well. I had the day off today and I will have it tomorrow again. So it's Thursday today, so it's Friday tomorrow. So I probably go out there tomorrow again, but that will be next week's video, I suppose. Thank you for watching me screwing up a couple of rolls of film today. Do take care and see you next time. Bye.
I could sit in this chair for 1,000 years and watch the woods consume the neighborhood. Watch the ambitions come and go, surround me and engulf me. We could ditch the TV and spend.
So yeah, final image of that roll of film. Just behind me here we have the composition. I'm going to overlay it for you. It's quite steep hill here and quite a precarious situation to be standing, so you have to forgive me for that. But yeah, last frame of that roll, and I messed it up. I forgot the mirror lock up, and it was 1/4 of a second at f22, and the ground was kind of wobbly, budgy ground, so yeah, I suspect there will be quite a lot of camera shake in that. An image that would have worked quite well in color. I really like the colors, but as I said before, I'm shooting in black and white today. I also realized that, if I'm not mistaken, Velvia is famous for being quite vivid colors, of course, but it's also quite famous for being quite contrasty and quite low dynamic range, which suited this day quite well. However, then I realized that HP5 that I've been shooting, that's the opposite. It's black and white, it's quite high dynamic range and quite low contrast, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not the biggest shooter of HP5, I just have a couple of rolls lying around to try out. I'm more a fan of T-Max and Delta 100. I do think HP5 is also quite low contrast black and white film. Anyhow, thank you for sticking out this far. I'm going to leave you with what I think will be quite a lackluster image. But yeah, thank you for watching. Do take care and bye.
Brought us up to this point, it will carry us far beyond it until we are nothing. Sometimes I feel like we're just words on a page. Close your eyes and be still. Close your eyes and be still. Close your eyes and be still.